Bismillah ar-Rahman Rahim. My dear students, ladies and gentlemen, I welcome all of you to my this class. Today's topic is the share capital of a company. But I have full realization that I'm not talking to law students to whom I had been talking for the last 30 years. And the students whom I'm addressing, they are students of finance and accountancy. That's why I would need time and again to take you back to the ABC of company law. And I'm afraid that I'll keep doing that till the end of this semester. So, taking you back to the company form of business organization. Uh, I would remind you of the basic difference between a partnership and a company. You know it very well that there are two, three basic differences. Both of them, there is one similar point, one common point that in both the cases, whether the business organization is a partnership or it's a company, in both the object or objective is one, and that is to invest money and to make profit. And in both the cases, few people they pull together their resources, their finances, with the expectation of taking part in running of a business and making a profit. But in the case of a partnership, as you know, and as you have been told in detail, that you see a partner, a firm is not a distinct personality from its members, the shareholders. The firm and partners, they are one and same people. You see, when partners are collectively referred to, they are called firm, and individually they are called partners. And the owners of the business, practically as well as theoretically, the owners of a firm business are the partners. But so is not the case with the company form of business organization. A company is totally a distinct personality from its members. A company is not a natural person. It's a juristic personality. It's an artificial or imaginary personality which is created with the process of registration of the company. So, and theoretically, the members of a company, I mean to say the shareholders, they are not the owners, they are shareholders. Okay? And another basic difference, I would say the most important difference between a partnership form of business organization and a company form of business organization is unlimited liability. Since the partners, they are the owners, and since their firm is not a distinct personality, that's why, since they are owners, their liability is unlimited, and to pay off the debts of partnership, even if they needed to sell their properties, personal properties, they they would they would they will have to do that. Okay, their personal properties would not be saved in case of loss to the company. Coming to the company form of business organization, since company is a distinct personality, and since this is the company which is the owner of the business, that's why company's liability is unlimited, but the liability of the shareholder is limited. And to what extent? To the extent of their paid, unpaid shares. Okay, and at the most, what can happen to them? They can lose what they have invested in the company form of business organization. But so far as their private properties are concerned, they are saved from attachment and sale. You see, in case the company comes across a loss which is many times beyond its capital. Okay, this is the main difference. Bringing you back to today's topic. So, as you know, you see, a company is a personality. Although this is a juristic personality, although this is an imaginary personality, although It has got no physical existence, but this is a personality recognized by them. And this is the personality which is the owner of the business. Question here arises that then how it will run its business. It will run, as I have told you, its business. It will conduct its business activity through some natural persons like me and you. And those natural persons are called directors. So these are the directors who would be, you see, acting on behalf of the company, who would be representing the company in every business deal, but according to the instructions given to them by the company. Where do those instructions are? They are in the memorandum of association or article of association. So directors would be actually running the business. They would be doing so with the consideration of the members of the company shareholders. And for that purpose, they would need to call general meetings of the shareholders. That's a long story for which we have time. In future, we will be discussing about the procedure. While we'll be talking about the meetings and proceedings of the company. So here the directors, and who are the directors? I mean, the first directors are those people, whether the company is a private limited company or it's a public limited company. You see, it is both registered, or the idea of a registered company is conceived by some natural person like me and few people. They conceive the idea of either having a private limited company or a public limited company, and for that purpose, what they do, they prepare all the documentation. They are called promoters, and these promoters, they are the one who are going to be the first shareholders as well as the first directors. So they'll be doing all that. If these directors are acting on behalf of the company according to the instructions given to them by the company in the memorandum of association, their acts are called intra vires. Intra vires. And the liability, you see, is taken by the companies for the acts. If just suppose that if a director was acting according to the instruction or according to the authority given to him by the company, by the memorandum of association of the company, and company comes across a loss, director will not be responsible as long as he has not gone beyond his authority. Okay? Just giving you an example that the company deals with cements, deals with manufacturing, selling, and buying of cements, and director makes a deal with which the company is not dealing, then that would be attributed to the director and his act. His act would be called ultra vires, beyond the authority. For that, the director personally would be liable, and that loss cannot be attributed to the company. But as long as the directors, they are acting, directors, those are acting on behalf of the company, if they are within their authorities and they are not violating their authority, then if some loss is caused, if some loss is sustained by the company itself would be liable to repair the loss, not the directors. Okay. Now, question arises that the company has been uh, registered. The certificate of registration has been given. Company is created. You see, the next thing is you should to have some money to start this. And you know the purpose. Yes, but if the company is limited by guarantee, I have told you that the companies are of two types so far as their liability is concerned. Certain companies are limited by guarantee. Those companies are not for trade purposes. That's why a guarantee limited company need not to have a share capital. Okay. So the share capital is needed by the company which is company limited by shares. If it is a private company, if it is a private limited company, then both whether it's a private limited company or it's a public limited company, both the cases the company would need some money for starting its business, for running its business. That money is called share capital. And that's the capital of the company. That's the money with which the company is going to start its business activities. Okay? So from where the company would arrange it, the next question should be in your mind this. Okay, company is created. And as you have been told many times that a company when registered, it's like a newly born baby. Newly born baby hasn't got a single penny in his pocket. I mean, not only single pocket, but he comes without address. There is no question of pocket. So you see, if a company is private, naturally, obviously, it would arrange its capital for the prospective business. You see, from the shareholders, if it's a private limited company. A private limited company, you see, would arrange its capital for the business privately. How privately? The persons who are members, the shareholders, they will provide. Just suppose the company is going to have 5 million and its capital, and 5 people, you see, are members. Every member would provide 1 million. And 1 million would, in return of paying 1 million rupees to the company, he will get certain amount of shares. And on the basis of those shares, he would be getting, you see, he would be getting profit. He would be getting his share in the dividend. The profit made by a company is called technically dividend. So here you see privately. A private limited company cannot sell its shares to the public, cannot offer to sell its share to the public. All right. It will have right. So in both cases, if an existing business is sold to the company, in return the shares are taken. If there is no, if this is not the case of conversion of an existing business to the company, you see, the company would be paid by the shareholders, and you see, in return of their payment to the shareholders, the company would allot them share certificates, and you see, in this way, the company would be running the business, and the one who has invested in the form of getting its shares would be uh, having his share in the profit of the company. All right. So it's clear that a private limited company cannot raise capital from the public. It cannot offer to sell its shares to the public. A private limited company. Only a public limited company can raise its capital from the public by offering to sell its shares to the public. But I have said the law says that only the public limited company may raise its capital from the public by selling its shares to the public. May, not shall. It's not compulsory for a public company to raise its capital from the public. If the people who have registered a public limited company, you know it very well that only 3 persons are needed to register or to form a public company. Just suppose they are 5 people and they are wealthy enough, they don't need capital. They will arrange it privately. Okay, it's not compulsory for them. Yes, if they are not wealthy enough and they had planned while thinking of having a public limited company that they would raise their capital from the public, in that case, the company is allowed. It's allowed, and the company may offer it. Coming to the nature and definition of share capital. This term share capital has nowhere been defined in the Companies Act 2017. It's so easy